Good morning. I'm City Council Member Becky Tuttle, representing District 2, which is the northeast portion of our community. Today is January 13th, 2021, so thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate you tuning in. And today we're going to be talking about the City of Wichita and our state legislative agenda. It came up yesterday during our City Council meeting, and we thought that we might want to pause maybe and just see if we can get some more community input and make sure that the community is aware of what we're doing, what's on our agenda, what the process is. So we thought today would be a great opportunity just to tune in with one of my favorite people, Marlee Carpenter. She's the principal at Bright and Carpenter, and she's the City of Wichita's lead lobbyist to the state legislature in Topeka. And also, she is a Wichita native. Am I correct, Marlee?
That is correct. I'm an East Sider. So West Siders, please don't hold that against me. I did go to Louverture Elementary, Coleman Middle School, and Southeast, and I am a graduate of Wichita State University.
Fantastic. And she was a resident in District 2 when she lived in Wichita, which is my district. So I'm really excited about that. But today you're joining us from beautiful Topeka, correct?
That is correct. The legislative session has kicked off. It kicked off on Monday, and it is very different this year with all the COVID protocols.
Yeah, I would imagine. Hopefully next year we won't have to be dealing with this, right? We'll go back to kind of life as normal, which will be great. So just real quickly, sometimes I think people don't always understand what a lobbyist is or what lobbying is, what happens. And so just wanted to remind the community and maybe inform them if I didn't know, or remind them if they already did, that our lobbyists, Marlee specifically, work with the city department leaders and council every year to formulate our state legislative agenda. This is something that we work on for months before it actually comes to the bench and to seek community input. And it's really about emerging trends, not only in our very own community, but across the state as well as the nation. And so we look for what are the key issues, the policy areas that we need to keep an eye on. And that's why we have Marlee and our lobbyists, because they're there in Topeka and they're there every day. And so they're able to really keep their finger on the pulse. There are also specific pieces of legislation. Topeka and our state capital is a busy, buzzing place all the time, and there's always legislation and priorities coming up. And so it's just great to have someone there as our advocate and to be able to monitor it for us. And Marlee is at the Capitol. I think you're probably there every day, right? And keeping us apprised of the developments as they happen. So Marlee, did I get all that right?
Yes, you did. I am the City of Wichita's boots on the ground in Topeka. You guys can't be here every day, but I'm here listening and talking to legislators about the issues and protecting the interests of the city as well as the citizens of Wichita.
That's fantastic. Thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it. And because you're a native, so we know you have our best interest in your heart, which is great. So Marlee, do you want to tell us a little bit about maybe what do you see happening, the big picture in Topeka this year? What do you think?
This year, who knows what will happen? Everything is up in the air. There is a traditional calendar that the House and Senate have put out, but we may be here 2 weeks. We may be here the entire session. We just don't know. The legislators are focused the first few weeks on their most key issues and passing a budget, which is very key for them. The City of Wichita has looked at several issues that are important to them, including the renewal of STAR bonds and economic development tools, looking at legislation to fill gaps between state and local behavioral health funding in the city as well as the state, support proposals for police reform that focus on providing resources for local law enforcement, incentivizing transparency and encouraging good police practices. The City of Wichita's legislative agenda also focused on continued state and regional discussions for the expansion of passenger rail in the state, as well as support funding for the state transportation program that has helped provide some dollars for many of the transportation projects in the city. The City of Wichita also supports the ability of local governments to collect local sales tax and compensating use tax on remote sellers. And then one of the key items is support state recovery efforts, including additional funding for local government and businesses in the City of Wichita, as well as across the region. So we are focused on many different areas, supporting citizens and businesses within the city of Wichita.
Thank you. That was a really great summary. So some really important topics, really timely topics, and then things that I remember from last year being on the legislative agenda as well. So definitely some new and emerging trends with COVID, but also some things that are consistently important to our constituents and our community. So last week, Marlee, one of the things that I got to do that I was really excited about is we had our South Central delegation. They had a virtual meeting, and as decision makers, we got to listen to it, and it was really informative. Great to hear not only City of Wichita present, but the county, school districts, WSU, all the entities in our community that interact with the South Central delegation. Can you maybe just tell us a little bit about what does that mean? So, if my neighbor asked me about the South Central delegation, what does that mean, and why is it important that we have connections with them here at the city?
Yeah, the South Central delegation is both House and Senate members that are elected to come up and serve you as the region at the State House. Wichita specifically, as well as the South Central region, is very well positioned with many in House and Senate leadership this year in both the Republican as well as the Democrat Party. We want to thank those leaders and work with them on Wichita issues because they are the leaders of both the House and Senate, but they also have huge ties to the Wichita area. And so Wichita in the South Central region is at the forefront of their minds as well.
Well, I am very fortunate to call many of those folks my friends, not only my colleagues, but my dear friends, and some of them I've known for years, and we truly appreciate their service, especially when you're living here in Wichita, but you're traveling back and forth to Topeka consistently. It's a huge time away from not only your community, but your family and friends too. So we're very grateful for their servant leadership in Topeka to make sure that we're going in the right direction. So Marlee, just to kind of wrap things up a little bit, is what else do you think we need to know? And I think, again, you mentioned it, but these are all very big bucket policy areas that, we think right now this is the direction that we're heading and these are our priorities, but things can sometimes change and opportunities arise. But just, kind of wrap it up and give us a quick summary of what you think about for the 2021 legislative year.
Going into 2021, you thought that things could not get or be as crazy as it was in 2020. But the very short time that we've been in 2021 has somewhat proved us wrong. We're hopeful that we can have a more traditional session, pass good legislation, but we have to be flexible as well. So we are, there's so many unknowns with this session and so many unknowns with 2021 that I think that we all need to work together and work towards the same goal to provide good legislation and good leadership for the city of Wichita.
Well said, my friend. Well said. I really appreciate that. So I just want to thank you for being with us today, Marlee. I know you're very busy and probably going to be running across the street to the Capitol soon, but we appreciate your time and your support and your partnership and really just making sure that the city of Wichita and our best interests are being thought of. So we appreciate all that you do. And for anybody who's watching today, our community members, we really want to hear from you as we do with all of our issues. And again, that's why we decided to delay this a week so that we could get more community input. So we've uploaded our state legislative agenda on our city website, so you can go to wichita.gov and check it out and learn more. And then we welcome your input. Reach out to any of your city council members, reach out to our mayor. If you have questions, you have suggestions, you have thoughts, that's exactly what our job is. I always tell people my job before I became a city council member, I had a 3-page job description, and now I have a 1-sentence job description, and that's listen to the residents of Wichita. So we're always here, and our doors and our minds are always open. So thanks again, Marlee, and thank you for everyone joining us today, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.